Oh my gosh. Guys, I'm so sorry. I was unaware the stream ended. I really apologize about that. I guess I should mind that. My Wi-Fi disconnected for a few seconds. I did not know that the stream ended because of that. Thank you for someone pointing that out. I am eternally grateful. I didn't know this thing existed. Interesting. I'll keep that in mind. Trying to figure out how I could... Oh, hello, Lostness. How's it going? Sorry for the technical difficulties. I'm really struggling today. You're gonna have to bear with me. Apologies, apologies. I think I'm gonna start back doing more gaming stuff, reacting or reaction videos. I think that would be great. Excuse me for a minute while I get the webcam back on. Awesome. Thank you guys for bearing with me again. Thank you. Thank you. Whoa. Let me get a zoom in on that. We seeing that, guys? All this, I'm guessing it's a pressure release. That looks wild. I'm gonna search something up. We're getting this. Get a job for real? I already have a job. And it's dealing with scums like you. Oh! Oh, where's my soundboard? Where's my soundboard? I think I'm gonna invest in a second monitor. I don't know if it would fit though. What do you guys think? Should I get a second monitor? I'll definitely consider it.
going to support the enduring presence we're trying to create on the surface.
Absolutely. So honestly, history-making years ahead of us, with Artemis 3 and 4. But first is Artemis 2. What will be our single greatest takeaway from this mission?
Well, I'll tell you, after ignition, to me, the moment
to again fly us into the history books. And before we leave you now here at the host desk to get back into operations, we just wanted to answer one question for you guys. We asked you earlier on today, what are you most excited for? And we asked you to go vote on Instagram and Twitch. Instagram, you guys said launch. Twitch, you guys said lunar flyby. So I think you guys will all be very excited since we are now about 17 minutes
17
minutes
of our launch window today. 17
and so with that,
minutes,
as we
guys.
approach terminal count, let's send it back to Daryl Nail in firing room 1. Daryl.
All right, thank you, Megan and Nicole, and just want to give you an update on the launch abort
Who
system
is this
that
guy?
they just reported that they cleared.
Somebody get me his
they
camera
believe,
views.
They're convinced this is an instrumentation failure. So there are 2 batteries on the LAS. The LAS, of course, and with the help of my 2-year-old son's model rocket, Daniel said I could use this, so it's okay. The LAS is right here. It's the tower above Orion. Orion capsule is inside of here. It's used to pull Orion off the rocket in case the rocket is something's going on with the rocket, either on the pad or in flight. 2 batteries are bad. Well, I'm sorry. One of the 2 batteries reported an out-of-family temperature, and it was very much out of family. And so they checked their data going back into the vehicle assembly building where they recharged the batteries and worked on them. And they have good, solid data, they reported, that tells them that this is an instrumentation failure, that there's something wrong with the sensor. And so they took it before the mission management team, which has to accept the risk, any changes to launch commit criteria, which this would be one, and they all fully accepted it. So now we are clear as far as that constraint is concerned. And one quick thing as we count down now, we are getting into the final minutes before liftoff. There's a 2-hour window. We haven't quite set the T0 yet, but this is a list of the cutouts. There are 150 cutouts that are included for this 2-hour launch window, and that's important. They're in very small print. That's important because there's basically 16 minutes inside this window that they cannot launch, and these are because of small things flying in orbit. There's a lot more things in orbit than there were
Small
back
things.
in
I
Artemis
think we can
1.
call
We
those
had
satellites.
35 to 40 cutouts. So
I think we can call those
that,
SpaceX
for that reason,
Starlink
because these
satellites.
156 cutouts, they're going to be managing the launch window as we go forward. So they may have to wait out one of these cutouts. They range in time between 2 seconds to 23 seconds, but you'll hear the NASA test director talk through that. We're getting ready to merge that loop from NASA test director Jeff Spaulding. And so now I'm listening to the launch team get ready to merge their operational channel. We're now entering one of the most consequential phases of launch day, and that's terminal count, the final 10 minutes.
And OTC, NTD, N212 for comm check?
Good, com. Help me.
I hear the same. STC?
Two.
TTC?
TTC is on 212.
All right, copy that.
NASA Test Director Jeff Spaulding confirming communications with his team. There will be 2 polls that we'll hear. One from Spaulding, the NASA Test Director, confirming the ground systems and the launch team are ready to proceed. At this point, we have a clear board.
What are the chances the rocket explodes?
No
You know,
constraints.
it's moderately high.
But we need
You know,
confirmation
it's
from
never
each
zero.
individual
But so
the-
far,
on
it
the,
doesn't sound like they're
on the NASA test director team.
they're taking any chances here. So if,
So we'll
if there
hear him
was
poll his team.
on the
The
off
other
chance
poll that
that
we're
the
waiting
rocket
for is the
had
poll
a
from launch
likelihood of
director Charlie
exploding, they'd
Blackwell
definitely
Thompson,
consider it and
who
probably
will take
push
that
back the
final
launch a few
status
days.
from NASA management before
Great
giving
question.
the go to come out
Great
of the hold.
question.
And you're seeing the clock count down at L minus 12 minutes.
CCL, OTC, Orion, or S1.
CCL.
Yes, sir. Reconfigure ARS primary loop ISO valves.
Copy, that's in work.
And CDR, OTC, Orion, or S1.
Go.
ARS loop ISO valves are being closed at this time.
Oh boy.
Integrity copies.
Oh boy. Strap in,
NTD,
guys. It's getting hot.
Go.
It's getting hot. Oh wow, look at that view right there. Look at that.
They were able to confirm from BCI photos that the condition that they observed has been there since 2025. MER manager has had a chance to review the findings, and they do not have any constraints from either a CIS or MER manager perspective.
Okay. Copy all. And launch director, NTD, you copy?
Yes, sir. I copy. That's good news.
OTC, CCL.
T minus
212.
10 minutes, guys. 10 minutes.
ARS primary loop isolation valve configuration is complete.
Copy.
And CGLS, NTD, cancel pending, please.
CLS copies, and that's complete.
All right, and for all personnel, we got a little bit more work to do before we pick up the clock, and we're about a little over a minute from getting to T minus 10 minutes, but we've canceled the resume time there, and then we'll pick it up after we get through all of our work and anything else that we need to do to get through the remainder of counts. So we'll continue working that to get to our T0 today. So when we get to about 50 seconds from now, we'll extend that hold.
CVSE, OTC. CVSE. 400, 290, looking to verify that we are configured for ascent. Yep, give me about 2 more minutes. I'm going to start CMA2 streaming. Copy.
Oh, they're
NTD,
locked in,
COSE,
guys.
hold
They're
requested.
locked in.
Copy that.
You think we're gonna get around the clock
LCC
views of
violation
inside the capsule? I think that'd be
O-CT-004,
awesome.
S-band transponder anomaly. This was a transient LCC violation, so transponder 1 had a demodulated SNR estimate that went down to 2 dBm when it should have been between 10 and 13. It is now back up to 12, but we did lose that for just a moment. It does not appear that we lost our bit sync or carrier lock, which would be indicative that we lost our lock with the vehicle. So at this point, recommendation would still be go. However, we do have a pre-planned contingency procedure if we want to look at that. But again, this was transient, so we're back in a
They
nominal
just hold
range.
the timer. Look,
All
they're
right,
holding the timer.
NTD.
Yeah, we're not seeing that hit, so I guess the question for COSE, was that less than 3 samples? Is that below our persistence?
Stand by, let me look. It did
Look at all
look
those
like it did
cameras, man.
persist for several seconds on mine, but let me take a look at the number of samples.
Could I get a repeat on the affected LCC, please?
Yes, ma'am, that's going to be O-CT-004.
Thank you.
Okay, we are on a countdown hold. They are investigating a minor anomaly. It's recommended that they launch, but they're gonna wait. They're going to wait. Alright, I'm turning back
Yeah, I
on
was taking a look at the
the
data right here. It
webcam.
looks like that was a single sample.
Yeah, copy that. RTS does report that they also lost lock for about 5 seconds, so I would love to ask KUS and see if they also lost lock with the vehicle for any extended amount of period.
And COSE, while we're doing that, these are 1/10 hertz measurements, correct? So we would have had to lose it for over 10
Let me
seconds to
turn
get a
down
second
this
sample.
slop music and turn up this Alright. What are they saying?
Yes, sir, that's correct. It is 1/10 hertz.
We're checking with KUS on 232. I don't think they have 212 access. We're trying to verify, but...
Alright. Oh, Diet
it sounds
Coca-Cola.
like they have a loss of lock as well.
Man.
About
What
2
an
seconds.
advertisement. Oh my god.
Okay. And I guess for both
In
KUS
the middle
and
of
CUSE, do we
the
have lock
launch
now?
procedure,
That's a frame. We
sipping
do
on
have lock
Diet
for
Coke.
COSE.
You know they're clipping just this frame right here.
Yeah, so from the integration console perspective, we did have a temporary loss there within the allowable, and per the requirement, let's go.
And this is Houston Flight. We have lock and we have good telemetry here in GSE.
And
wants
KUS
dog
is
cam
reported
back?
they have good lock now.
I'll bring back dog cam if we spam
So
it
with
enough.
all of that, OSC, then are we in a go configuration per your LCC?
Yes, sir. Recommendation would be go.
Right, LPE concur with that?
Yes, sir. LPE concurs go.
And launch director?
Yes, sir. Launch director concurs go.
All right, and I'm going to go ahead and just verify everybody has everything else complete, launch director, and if we do, we'll be ready to pick up the poll at that time, unless there's something else that you're aware of.
No, sir. Let's verify all our work is complete, and I would like one last check of our constraints list.
All right, let's see. OTC, are you still waiting for config, or are you...
That is a firm, sir.
Okay, is that your only open item?
Yeah, OTC, this is CVSC. That 400 step 290 is complete.
Copy. Okay, so OTC, you're complete with all your work?
That's a firm.
All right, copy that. STC?
STC is complete.
And GTC?
GTC is complete.
Okay, excellent. All right, and LPE, just want to verify we have no open constraints at this time.
No open constraints. We have a clear board, sir.
Okay, tracking the same here. And launch director, with that, we are clear and ready to pick up the launch readiness poll with your go.
All right, sir. I am go for the poll.
All right. And for all personnel, this is the NTD conducting the Artemis 2 launch readiness check. Verify ready to resume count and go for launch. OTC.
TC is go.
STC.
STC is go.
GTC.
C's go.
MCO.
KO's go.
Safety console.
The safety console is go.
LPE.
LPE's go.
RTD.
RTD's go.
Houston flight.
Houston Flight is go.
ROC.
Rock is go.
Rock.
And CDR.
Cruise go.
Copy that. Thank you, Reed. And launch director, NTD, our launch team is ready to proceed at this time.
Wow, look at all those people.
All right, NTD, I copy all. At this time, I'll perform my poll. Attention on the net. This is the launch director performing the final poll for launch, verifying no constraints, and go for launch. EGS, Program Chief Engineer.
Artemis Chief Engineers are go.
Copy, thank you. EGS, Chief Safety Officer.
The Artemis CSOs are go.
Copy,
Wow,
thank you. Range
we got another
weather.
one. Mountain Dew.
Launch weather is go.
Somebody get Mountain Dew on
Thank
this
you,
live stream.
LWO.
Tell them to clip this.
And Artemis MMT Chair.
I
MMT's
didn't know
go.
people like this sipped on
Thank you,
soda this
John.
hard.
And Integrity Launch Director.
Good Air is Charlie PLT.
Thank you, Charlie. This is Victor. We are going for our families.
MS1.
This is Christina. We are going for our teammates.
MS2. This is Jeremy. We are going for all humanity. All right, Charlie, your Artemis 2 crew is go for launch. Full send.
I copy that. Reed, Victor, Christina, and Jeremy. On this historic mission, you take with you the heart of this Artemis team, the daring spirit of the American people and our partners across the globe, and the hopes and dreams of a new generation. Good luck. Godspeed, Artemis 2. Let's go. And into the launch director.
Go ahead, launch director.
Yes, sir. You have a go to proceed with countdown.
We have a go.
Copy that. I'll put it in work. CDR, NTD.
Go.
Pick your risers and initiate short purge per your EPROC 10.1.1, steps 8 and 9.
10.1.1, 8, 9, going to work.
Copy. CBSE NTD, start and verify recordings of our Orion cameras.
Copy.
Okay. Well, there you heard it.
RSR NTD.
RSR.
They're getting ready to start terminal count.
May arm rotation enable at this time, please.
It's currently at T-minus 10 minutes. Once we wrap up this last bit of work,
SNA arm rotation enable complete.
we're going to start that clock.
Copy that, thank you.
Wow, look at all
Close
those
the lock visors.
people. Oh man. Oh, they done her dirty. They done her dirty. Oh man.
You heard an issue, worked in real time with telemetry lock
man.
on the
Oh.
Orion.
Oh,
It was transitory. It was very short. They checked the data,
What are you doing?
confirmed that
Move
they
out of- okay.
had a good lock. This was with the S-band transmitter on the Orion. Worked through that issue, looked at the data, and cleared it. All with the world watching.
Got that right?
Impressive work by the launch team. So we have a 2-hour window, which starts in just a few minutes at 6:24 p.m. Eastern Time.
The glaze
and
is
goes
crazy.
until 8:24 p.m. Eastern Time.
What do you mean the glaze is
And
crazy?
ECL NTD will be waiting for your
Julie
verification on the short
Webham?
purge.
ECL copies.
How's the glaze
And for all
crazy?
personnel, once we get that short purge verification, we'll verify that we are clear to go, and then we'll proceed with the terminal count.
Man, that's a whole lot of people. Especially down in that hot Florida sun. Shoulder to shoulder.
ECL time
Body
estimate.
heat to body
About a
heat.
minute.
Copy.
Man. I think I'm gonna start back doing more Roblox gaming live streams. That'd be nice. I think I'm gonna do that over spring break, about 1. No more PTFS.
So we're going into the launch window,
I'm high-key done with PTFS.
but not by
Oh,
much, it looks like.
Dog wants to say hello.
There's an application software. It runs on top of the launch control system.
To be in a
212, short purge initiation is verified.
All right, copy that, and we're verifying our constraints.
Copy. Sorry, guys, got another notification.
All right, and we're clear from cutouts. And with that, we're going to resume the clock momentarily. And CGLS, you can resume the clock on your mark.
GLS copies. 3, 2, 1, mark. GLS mainline has been initiated.
T-minus 10 minutes and counting.
And that begins terminal count. Our new T0 is
minutes.
6:35 p.m. Eastern Time. 6:35 p.m. Eastern Time.
10
We are
minutes.
now counting down to liftoff of Artemis 2.
10 minutes.
From now on, you're going to hear 2 voices on the loops. If everything goes nominally, NASA Test Director Jeff
dog-
Spalding, who's directly managing the launch team,
oh.
and Alex
dog
Bendelis, the
of
GLS
lag
operator who
and-
closely monitors the software.
And poor connection.
He has the ability to stop
Dang.
and restart the countdown.
Guys are harsh. No, I get it.
A lot of people ask about whether there's a launch button. There certainly
and
is
Houston
not.
flight and rock. Our new T0 is 22, 35, 12.
Houston flight copies.
22,
22, 35, 12.
Well.
Affirm.
There you heard confirmation of the exact T0, 6:35 and 12 seconds p.m. Eastern Time. Again, our T0 is 6:35 and 12 seconds p.m. Eastern Time. But as I was saying, there's no launch button. This is autonomous. But there is a button that keeps you from launching, and that button allows the GLS operator to pause the countdown outside of terminal count and during terminal count and submit a hold to the next holding point. So the clock won't stop right away. If there's an issue, we'll go to the next stable holding point. This is how GLS configures the rocket and ground systems to a stable point where they can stop the countdown if that's needed. But right now, we are counting down our next big milestone, looking to retract the crew access arm.
Nope, here's a good one.
GLS is go for crew access arm retract.
And there you see the crew access arm moving away.
I'm sorry? Oh, wow.
That's the path that the astronauts took to ingress into the rocket.
Oh, guys,
until this point,
official.
that was their way off the pad if they needed to evacuate. But now with that arm retracting, the backup transitions to a launch abort system. And they'll begin arming that shortly. Of course, the launch abort system, great shot there of the crew access arm retracting away. The launch abort system is the tower at the top, and that's what would pull Orion and its crew off the top of the rocket in case of an emergency, whether it's on the ground or in flight. This is critical safety hardware that protects the lives of the astronauts. Starting at T-minus 6 minutes, the GLS will start bringing that and other high-energy systems online, starting with core stage pressurization.
Oh, man. It's getting real. Wow. Holy cortisol. Yeah, imagine how... Yeah, they're probably panicking. Imagine, I mean, especially after that crew...
Weather's 90% go. The range is go.
They're like...
All systems are go.
Oh, all systems are go. So, oh yeah, I'd still be nervous. Man. But they've been training for
GLS
this
is go
for
for core stage tank pressurization.
Most of them have already been on the ISS, but still.
That means the replenish valve for the liquid hydrogen tank has now closed, and that tank is beginning to pressurize to flight levels because that hydrogen is naturally boiling inside the tank.
Alright. Naturally boiling. Wow.
We'll get the liquid oxygen tank a little later in the count.
That's a nice shot.
Now the team is waiting for verification that, if needed, the Artemis II crew could use the launch abort system to pull Orion safely off the top of the rocket in an emergency. Let's listen in for that call.
GLS verifies last capability available.
And CDR, do you copy?
CDR copies, last available.
That's great news, and you heard the NTD verify that with the commander of the mission.
GLS is go for FTS arm.
Now work is being done to arm the flight termination system. This is so the range safety can send a flight termination command if the rocket flies too far off track. There's a brief built-in delay, so the launch abort system has time to pull the astronauts to safety
go for
first.
LH2 high flow bleed check.
All right, the high flow bleed check. That's so the cryo team gets verification that the RS-25 engines, all 4 of them, are in the proper temperature range for launch.
Four minutes, guys. 4 minutes. Chat, when do you think... Obviously, it's going to be high cortisol throughout the entire flight, right? But when do you think the crew will have the lowest cortisol?
GLS is go for core stage APU start.
And
Core stage APUs start. Those are auxiliary power units.
Can't be returned.
High-speed turbines, which provide pressure to hydraulic pumps that steer the RS-25 engines. We're going to see a gimbal test a little later at T-minus 2 minutes and 30 seconds. This is what allows that to happen. coming up in about 20 seconds. We're listening for go for purge sequence 4. That's a helium purge of the 4 core stage engines downstream of the propellant valve. This gets all the air and moisture out of there.
GLS is go for purge sequence 4.
Moving through the milestones.
You're right. You're right.
All is looking good.
Most likely like an hour in during the coast.
Coming up in just a few seconds, we're going to get that thrust vector control actuator test.
Phase,
this is a gimbling of the engines.
The rocket does the orbital burn, and then it's just coasting towards the moon.
There are the 4 RS-25s, 3 of them. Shuttle Heritage,
like
one of them
out.
built from
it's gonna be like 3 days till that happens.
Shuttle parts.
Imagine like being too nervous to like.
And there you see them moving.
Do we see that? Did we just clip that? Oh, that's a nice. Whoa! Oh my God, the rock! Oh wow! I didn't know they could move. The engines
now
are
we're going to start moving the power from both the upper stage and the lower stage of the rocket to internal, taking ground power away and now going to battery power.
Whoa! I wonder why those
go for
black
upper stage
squares.
internal power.
Anyone know why those black squares?
All right, power is removed from the rocket's upper stage, the ICPS, and it's been switched to battery. Same milestone for the lower core stage coming up at T-minus 1 minute and 30 seconds. Right now, the 4-person Artemis 2 crew is 248,000 miles away from the moon. And if all goes well, they will fly by it in 6 days.
Man.
GLS is go for core stage to internal power.
6 days.
All right, there's the rocket's core stage, which houses 3 flight computers, is now on its own power.
Yeah, 3 days.
There's no more hold time because there's no more margin on these batteries.
Less than 90 seconds left, guys. Buddy, come here.
To recharge if we had a hold.
Less than 90 seconds. 1 minute, guys. 1 minute. Oh, man.
Right now, the rocket does not know what the T0 is, but coming up at T-minus 33 seconds, control shifts from the ground launch sequencer to the rocket's onboard autonomous launch sequencer, or ALS. The rocket will count itself down, but honor any holds that could come from the ground. Now, shortly after liftoff, Houston will take control of the rocket, and my colleague Gary Jordan will take over commentary.
Who the heck is Gary Jordan?
GLS, go for ALS.
30 seconds, guys.
The
30
rocket is on its own.
seconds.
4
30
brave
seconds.
explorers ready to ride the most powerful rocket
NASA got 3D thrust vectoring before United States Air
NASA
Force
has ever launched.
I'm saying, man. NASA?
Sound suppression water is flowing.
15.
And here we go. 10, 9,
8, 7, 6,
RS-25
5,
engines.
4, 3,
3, 2, 1. Booster ignition.
Load!
And liftoff. The crew of Artemis 2 is now bound for the moon. Humanity's next great voyage begins.
Launch! Oh my gosh. Let's look at these other views.
Roger, roll pitch.
Houston,
oh
now
my
controlling
gosh,
the flight
look at that
integrity
smoke
of the
at the
Artemis
launch
2
site.
mission around the moon.
Integrity, AMT high.
Oh, wrong tab.
AMT high.
Oh my gosh, man.
Seconds until the flights. Integrity passes the ultimate beacon. Target milestone. Mission Control Houston seeing good performance on the main engines. Space Launch System core stage. Integrity, 3 miles in altitude.
Oh,
traveling
man,
more than 1,200 miles per hour.
Wow.
Mission to last time, passing 1 minute, approaching max Q.
Max Q, max Q. Max Q.
Dan, we have you loud and clear on Ponce de Leon.
Have you the same?
communication signal transfer confirmed as Integrity and its crew go supersonic. Approaching 90 seconds into the Artemis 2 mission. Integrity is 14 miles in altitude, 8 miles downrange, traveling more than 2,600 miles per hour.
When do we see stage separation? Can we get a live feed on stage separation?
1 minute 50 seconds of mission elapsed time, standing by for main engine throttle down to 85%, ahead of solid rocket booster separation, expected at the 2 minute 9 second mark. We see throttle down. Confirmed separation. Main engine
wow,
throttling
look
up,
at that.
guidance confirmed.
Look at that. Look at that. Oh man. Oh, that's awesome. Solid
Integrity, guidance converged, performance nominal, upper stage RCS ready.
Copy all, Stan.
Integrity, SM priming complete.
SM priming complete.
2 minutes 45 seconds of mission elapsed time into the Artemis 2 mission. Thrusters on Integrity and upper stage confirmed in a ready state ahead of service module fairing separation.
Man, it's just coming in. Looks like a star.
3 minutes into the flight. Integrity 49 miles in altitude, 78 miles downrange, now passing 5,000 miles per hour.
Oh man. NASA, we gotta work on this footage. Oh look, fairing separation. That's great. What am I? Oh, that was the abort.
Standing by for launch abort system jettison.
A launch abort system jettison.
Houston Integrity, good last jettison, great view.
Copy jettison, Team Eco 8 plus 02.
We see the same on board, Stan.
And Houston has you loud and clear on Tigris at the common line.
Whoa, what is this from, man?
Outstanding, Stan. We have you the same.
You think James Webb
3 minutes
Telescope
50
could see the
seconds
rocket?
into the flight of Artemis 2, Wiseman, Glover, Cook, and Hansen cross the boundary to space with good comm checks. GPS signals acquired after last jettison now working on internal checks to verify accuracy. Flight Dynamics Officer analyzed the time of main engine cutoff, confirmed at 8 minutes 2 seconds, time of MECO.
Really inspirational. We got Dog. Say hello, Dog. Say hello.
Hi, I am Dog. My name is Dog.
Yeah, lovely guy. Lovely guy. This looks like ISS footage.
Integrity, GPS processing.
Outstanding, Stan. We see the same, and we have a beautiful moonrise. We're headed right at it.
Oh, they can still see that from up there. God.
Approaching 5 minutes into the flight, Commander Reed Wiseman confirms he has visuals of his destination. GPS guidance, navigation, and control software finishes internal checks and sends to navigation channels.
Integrity, 3 engine press.
See if the other channels got any footage.
3 engine press.
On time, now passing 5 minutes 20 seconds of mission elapsed time into the Artemis 2 mission. At this point, 3 good main engines are all that's needed to carry Integrity to a nominal main engine cutoff target. Though at this time, we're seeing 4 good engines here in Mission Control Houston. Integrity, 75 miles in altitude, 330 miles downrange, approaching 10,000 miles per hour.
Guys, I'm gonna be honest with you, I might just keep it on live. I want to play Roblox.
Integrity,
Roblox. Oh, there's 4 people watching.
Same on board, Stan.
I'm gonna tune back into this music.
Good trajectory and engine performance. Booster officer will soon report the shutdown plan to Flight Director Judd Friedling, expected at the 7-minute mark. Integrity,
Whoa.
78 miles in altitude, 460 miles downrange.
Integrity, expect nominal shutdown.
Wait, no, bring that back. That was peak.
Integrity copies, nominal shutdown.
Oh, you can't see it from Earth anymore.
6 minutes 40 seconds of mission elapsed time. Shutdown plan is as expected. Again, the time of MECO was confirmed at 8 minutes 2 seconds into the flight.
When are we gonna see stage 1 separation?
7 minutes of mission elapsed time.
Stage 2 separation, sorry.
Throttling down as we approach the abort once around option. Milestone at the 7 minute 30 second mark. Now 84 miles in altitude, 650 miles downrange, traveling more than 15,000 miles per hour.
50 years.
Integrity, AOA open.
50 years. Can you believe it?
AOA open.
The window is now open for an abort once around option.
Enjoy
with
Invincible.
target splashdown in the Pacific Ocean.
Julie
Still following
Webber.
nominal ascent at
Enjoy
this time.
Invincible. Over 50 years for this to happen, guys. Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
About 10 seconds remaining until the main engine cutoff of the Space Launch System core stage. Standing by for confirmation of MECO and core stage separation.
Oh, crap. Whoa.
Integrity, nominal MECO, core stage separated.
This animation is
We
chronically
see the
loud.
same on board, Stan.
Eight minutes 40 seconds into the flight, we have a nominal main engine cutoff heading in the right trajectory on the way to swing around the moon. Core stage has separated, done its job. The Space Launch System upper stage, the Interim Cryogenic Propulsion Stage, or ICPS, still attached to the Orion spacecraft. Nine minutes of mission elapsed time. Integrity crew of Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Cook, and Jeremy Hansen now in orbit around the Earth at the beginning of their journey to the moon.
Integrity Houston, looking ahead to PRM, numbers so far per the pad.
Copy that, Stan. Numbers for the pad.
Capcom Stan Loves now reminding the crew that the perigee raise maneuver time of ignition is as expected prior to booster
Be right
ignition.
back, folks.
That time being 49 minutes 50 seconds of mission elapsed time.
Integrity, good. NEDs deploy.
Copy that, Stan. Good, Neds.
And Integrity Houston for PWD SEP, just a reminder, halfway open on the secondary.
We got that, Stan. Halfway open.
Passing 11 minutes of mission elapsed time. overhearing the conversation between Capcom Stan Love and Commander Reed Wiseman, already passing some milestones. We have a good nozzle extension deployment system. That is confirmed. Complete. We also have the visors are confirmed up, now past the dynamic phase of flight, that is ascent. Their launch and entry suits that provided them an extra layer of protection, now not as needed. They're going to raise those visors. And later in today's mission, they will begin to egress or get out of the suits to begin some of their initial tasks of activating some of the systems aboard in the Integrity spacecraft. It's passing 12 minutes of mission elapsed time. Again, the perigee raise maneuver that's targeted near 50 minutes of mission elapsed time, 49 minutes, 50 seconds. That's what the crew is going to be working towards. The Commander Reed Wiseman pilot Victor Glover will focus on preparing for that milestone. In the meantime, mission specialist Christina Cook and Jeremy Hansen will start some of the activation of environmental control life support systems. You may hear confirmation of their activation over the Orion to Earth communication network.
Houston, C3 aux power back in auto.
Copy C3 aux, and we're 2 minutes to maneuver.
And 30 seconds of mission elapsed time. We're going to continue to follow the crew of the Artemis 2 mission. They are beginning their journey around the moon to verify the systems that will take us to its surface. An incredible ascent. Artemis 2 is underway. Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Cook, and Jeremy Hansen begin their journey to the moon. Still milestones to come up as we await solar array deploy and the critical burns that will get Integrity into high Earth orbit around the Earth before engines are fired to get us around the moon. We'll keep tabs on Integrity and its crew from here in Mission Control Houston. But for now, we're going to send it back to you, Megan and Nicole at the Kennedy Space Center. Very jealous to hear how the launch experience was over on the Space Coast.
Yeah, Gary, if people are just joining us, welcome back to the Space Coast, where we just saw Artemis 2 lift off 14 minutes ago. And wow, what an amazing launch, and an emotional one too. As soon as the rocket lifted off, Nicole, you had tears in your eyes, I had tears in my eyes, and we had all these people around us cheering. It was amazing.
Yeah, the energy was wonderful. I mean, it was a beautiful launch. We've got 4 friends and family members headed to the moon. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, how does that make you feel as someone who, is an astronaut as well, but also, as you said, friends?
Yeah, so proud of them. Man, we don't have the words in the English language to describe this kind of an event, and pride, love, so many emotions. They are truly breaking some barriers, and hopefully, as Gary just said, they've got a long day ahead of them, so wishing them well on everything, but so far, what a beautiful launch to watch.
Yeah, to be returning to the lunar orbit in more than 50 years. Maybe they go farther from Earth than any other humans before them. Maybe they see parts of the moon that we've never seen before. I mean, what a great start to what could be all of these milestones that we break in just a 10-day mission.
Yes, what a way to welcome in the Artemis generation.
Yeah, how do you feel? I mean, we saw some beautiful shots we were covering of course, the rocket, of course, the Earth falling away as we continued up into our ascents, but also some of those crowd shots where we saw young and old just emotional, overcome by this history-making moment.
Man, we are going back to the moon for all, and we saw that today. We saw that in all the crowds. And yeah, you guys just saw that view, the sunrise or sunset, I guess. They just made it over the crest of the Earth, and you could see the sun peeking over. One of my favorite views from space. Artemis, and I can't imagine what they're looking at now, and I can't wait to see what they're looking at in about 5 or 6 days.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people are like, you know what, I'm surprised this launched on the first try, because we know, like any little thing, we have to be keeping safety in mind, and we want to make sure we're ready to go, but we were ready to go, and I think it surprised a lot of people. What a wonderful surprise on this Wednesday evening.
It did, and it kind of surprised me as well, but it's just a testament to the team here that has been working so hard on Artemis. Artemis 1, we learned a ton of lessons. We learned a ton from the wet dress for Artemis 2. We were able to go in, fix those things. We even had a couple mishaps today, not mishaps, but a couple, anomalies today that the team creatively came up with solutions for. It's just a testament to the teamwork that gets us to the moon.
And so we can continue to watch Christina, Reed, Victor, and Jeremy on their way now to the moon in Earth's orbit and awaiting the next in-flight milestones, deploying Orion's solar arrays. So why don't we get back in with Mission Control and Gary.
Hey, thank you, Megan. Again, we're following along in the action. It is a long day. They have a number of procedures they need to get to immediately in their timeline.
And Integrity Houston, Crosstie is on board per the FCDM.
We copy Houston, thank you.
Crosstie referring to flight controllers here initiating a connection between some of the batteries aboard the Orion spacecraft, allowing for an even distribution of power. This is the flight control teams that took us through ascent of the Artemis 2 mission today. Right now we're, as you see, passing 18 minutes of mission elapsed time. The Orion spacecraft integrity and the interim cryogenic propulsion system are maneuvering tail to sun. It is in this orientation, this attitude.
Integrity anywhere until that momentary prop caution.
And Reed, no action, we're looking at it.
Commander Reed Wiseman verifying what is being routed to his displays aboard Integrity. Propulsion engineer confirming that no action is needed at this time. They're pressing through with their nominal procedures to prepare for the perigee raise maneuver, and of course the solar array wing deploy ahead of that. The solar wing deploy is a critical milestone. We'll continue to have our coverage follow the mission until that deployment. Successful launch is just the beginning. The deployment of the solar arrays and successful confirmation that those solar array wings are drawing power is a significant milestone, and says to the flight control teams that we will continue on today's mission. Power needs to be drawn to continue through some of the next milestones. Until then, the AOA open option that was called up upon ascent, the aboard once around, is the current option, and abort to orbit option ATO will be switched to a preferred mode at the time that the solar array wings are deployed and latched. It gives the flight control teams a little bit more flexibility.
Yeah, Integrity Houston, update on TDRS handover for your pad.
Give us just 1 minute. And Stan, you can read it. Ike is ready to copy.
Roger. TDRS handover east to west expected 1 second earlier at 5:1 minutes 26 seconds.
Hi, Stan, we copy 1 second earlier for 5126 TDRS east to west, and saws are starting to deploy. Thermal knives are firing.
We concur. Thanks for the report.
Read back of the reports that you just heard on the Orion to Earth network. Integrity has maneuvered tail to sun. The RL-10 nozzle on the end of the ICPS is pointed towards the sun. The solar array deployment sequence has begun. With the deployment confirmed, it'll be several minutes until they are what is called in a latched position. Once they are latched and confirmed to be drawing power, they can switch the mode to ATO and continue along the mission. The teacher's handover at the pad, that message meant the crew was provided some preliminary numbers of when to expect handovers between the tracking and data relay satellites. Currently orbiting Earth at an altitude of 545 statute miles above the Earth, they are in a near-Earth network communication system. The tracking and data relay satellites, geosynchronous satellites that are stationed about 23,000 miles above the Earth. After the apogee rays burn, that occurs later today, the burn itself will put them in an altitude that surpasses the range of the tracking and data relay satellites, and they will transition to the deep space network today.
And Integrity, for prompt messages, we see 2 temperature measurements right near the line. It's a momentary message you saw earlier. We're going to suppress those. It's CM helium heater 2 T1 and heater 1 T1. They're going suppressed.
Integrity, thank you. We see the same.
This is Mission Control Houston, passing 23 minutes of mission elapsed time into the Artemis 2 mission. This is after a launch that began at 5:35 and 12 seconds Central Time, 6:35 and 12 seconds p.m. Eastern Time. Right now, the orientation you're seeing from our arrow visualization that translates some of the telemetry that we're getting from the spacecraft and puts it into a model, so you can follow along on some of the milestones that we are following here. The RL-10 nozzle that you see at the left end of your screen, though it is currently not firing, that nozzle is pointed towards the sun, and the solar arrays are currently deploying. From this visualization, they look fully stowed in a position.
Integrity, we are happy to report that Jeremy has the O2 sensors on.
Copy O2 sensors.
Again, Commander Reed Wiseman and pilot Victor Glover overseeing the deployment of the solar arrays. And we'll follow the attitude maneuver changes ahead of the first burn of the ICPS engine, the perigee raise maneuver.
Integrity Houston, we see 4 saws deployed and latched, ready for ATO preferred.
Yeah, we're almost there in the procedure stand, and we see the same thing.
And Integrity Houston, we are seeing a 7-second miscompare between the MET on Orion and ICPS. We'd like you to read us the MET from your center status bar and for the ICPS on StackSum.
And Stan, we see a absolutely precise alignment. MET 25, 14, 15, 16, precisely aligned with ICPS MET.
Copy, thank you for that. We'll investigate a ground issue.
And Houston Integrity, ATO preferred set.
Copy, ATO preferred.
This is Mission Control Houston, 25 minutes, 45 seconds into the flight of Artemis 2. We have confirmation that all 4 solar array wings are deployed and latched. This is the configuration needed to switch to ATO preferred, which you did hear confirmed from pilot Victor Glover. That mode has been switched. There was also a discussion with Capcom Stan Love and Commander Reed Wiseman about the alignment of the MET clocks on the Orion spacecraft and the ICPS. Commander Reed Wiseman confirmed the clocks are in sync, no issues, they're going to investigate it on the ground. We're proceeding with today's mission. 26 minutes of mission elapsed time and counting. This is Mission Control Houston. We're approaching 28 minutes of mission elapsed time into the Artemis 2 mission. At this point, we've had a successful liftoff from the pad at 5:35 p.m. and 12 seconds p.m. Central Time, 6:35 and 12 seconds p.m. Eastern Time. We've had a good main engine cutoff, core stage separation, and a good trajectory to begin today's mission. Right now the spacecraft has maneuvered tail to sun. We're standing by for another maneuver to maneuver into the burn attitude. This is where the RL-10 engine of the ICPS is pointed in the correct orientation for the perigee raise maneuver. We did hear confirmation that the perigee raise maneuver time of ignition has been confirmed per the pad, which means it was the predicted time prior to liftoff.
Integrity for GNC, we're taking channel 1 to unfiltered and to BFS.
Okay, Stan, we're watching. Go ahead.
Capcom Stan Love reading up to the crew of Integrity. They will switch the navigation source from channel 1, standing by for confirmation that that switch has occurred. Pilot Victor Glover will receive confirmation when, and is at least watching to confirm that that switch has occurred. Again, the perigee raise maneuver that we're heading towards, not too long from now, we're actually inside 20 minutes at this time from the time of ignition of the perigee raise maneuver. We did have a successful deployment and latched of all 4 solar array wings. This is the configuration needed to commit to the perigee raise maneuver. Of course, flight controllers here in Mission Control Houston will continue to evaluate that everything is good before committing to that burn. The perigee raise maneuver does raise the perigee, the lowest point in the orbit, from 15 to 100 nautical miles. The 100 nautical mile mark is needed to continue in low Earth orbit and hit the target for the apogee raise burn. That will put them in a high Earth orbit for the remainder of the day and set them up for the right position to execute the translunar injection and head to the moon tomorrow. The burn duration of the perigee raise maneuver is 26 seconds. relatively short burn, but it does raise the perigee and do the job to get into the correct position before firing that main engine on the ICPS. The pad had a TGERS handover. This is the tracking and data relay satellites. East to west, they are geosynchronous satellites that are positioned around the globe, and as Orion makes its way around the Earth right now, above the west coast of Africa, at an altitude of about 923 statute miles, and counting. The perigee raise maneuver is not executed at the perigee. It is rather executed on the, actually closer to the apogee. But what it does is it raises the perigee at the other end of the orbit to 100 nautical miles. The 26-second duration burn does not conflict with the time that they've reported of the tracking and data relay satellite handover from TGERS east to west. Again, geosynchronous satellites that are used not only by Integrity today, but the International Space Station as well. That time of handover is 51 minutes, 26 seconds. Plenty of margin before the perigee raise maneuver cutoff happens, and the trajectory is analyzed to see whether it was a good burn. A good burn means that the burn was performed as expected and sets the trajectory on course for that 100 nautical mile perigee target mark. Again, for those sticking with us on NASA Plus and following along on our coverage, we will continue to follow and to cover the mission until well, actually, we'll continue to cover the mission 24/7. But we'll wrap up our coverage here shortly. And now that solar array wing deployment has occurred on NASA Plus and Amazon Prime, again, we will continue coverage 24/7 at the NASA YouTube channel. For those that want to see all of the upcoming milestones, there are select times where we will be coming back to NASA Plus and other streaming platforms. You can go to nasa.gov to find the latest on when to find those activities. Given that this is an operational mission, we do want to make sure that we are maintaining transparency in the mission and providing you all the information on what's happening in space as Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Cook, and Jeremy Hansen head on their mission around the moon. Inside Integrity at this time, again, the solar array wings have deployed. The Integrity is maneuvering to its burn attitude ahead of the execution of the perigee raise maneuver. Overseeing these steps is primarily done by Commander Reed Wiseman and pilot Victor Glover. Mission specialists Christina Cook and Jeremy Hansen focusing on some of the system activation inside of Orion, namely the environmental and control and life support systems. The activation and checkout of some of these critical systems are very important to continuing on the mission, making sure that those systems are in a good condition and in a reliable condition to provide the necessary environmental and control needs of the crew, with humans on board through the duration of the mission that extends 10 flight days. Standing by for an update to the perigee raise maneuver time of ignition. Should be right up to the crew very shortly.
Integrity Houston, updated PRM numbers when you're ready to copy.
Houston, we are ready to copy. copy.
TIG is 2 seconds earlier at 4 minutes, 48 seconds. TIGO unchanged at 26 seconds.
49, 48, TIGO 26.
This is Mission Control Houston. With that update, we are approaching a little more than 13 minutes from the time of ignition of the perigee raise maneuver. That time, updated to be 2 seconds earlier, was 49 minutes 50 seconds of mission elapsed time. We'll now move to 49 minutes 48 seconds. The duration of the burn, that's what was referred to as the TGO, will still remain at 26 seconds. Relatively short duration burn, again, just raises the perigee of the orbit today. Making sure they hit the mark on that time of ignition is the primary concern of Commander Reed Wiseman and pilot Victor Glover. Mission Specialist Christina Cook and Jeremy Hansen inside activating those environmental control and life support systems. At this time, all 4 crew members are wearing the launch and entry suits.
Integrity Houston, for Optimus on the PCD, we have time update instructions when you're ready.
And Houston, Integrity, we copy. Hands are pretty busy at this time. I think we will call you back when we're ready for that.
All right, that one is not urgent. 2 minutes to maneuver to PRM attitude.
We are watching and concur. 90 seconds-ish, maybe.
Pilot Victor Glover confirming that that maneuver less than 2 minutes. Again, that the point of that maneuver is to point the main engine of the ICPS, the RL-10 engine, in the proper orientation to execute that 26-second burn. It needs to point in the correct position to achieve the goal of raising the perigee to 100 nautical miles. You heard some of the environmental control system activations over Orion to Earth. Jeremy Hansen activated the O2 sensors. They'll be measuring the cabin of Orion. During all of the activations, here on the ground in Mission Control Houston, Flight Director Judd Freeling is doing a poll with all flight controllers in the room to see if we are in a go position to go ahead and execute the perigee raise maneuver. Once concluded, Stan Love will report it back up to the crew, and we'll stand by for that.
Integrity Houston, MCC polls go for PRM, pending attitude and SAWS.
Hey, we copy. MCC is go. Maneuver starting.
Minutes of mission elapsed time. The maneuver to the burn attitude has begun. The maneuver also is paired with reorientation of the solar array wings that have been deployed. They will have various positions throughout the duration of the flight. Of course, solar array is meant to maximize the draw of power from the sun. So when deployed, we're in a biased solar array wing configuration that was called solar normal. This allows for the greatest surface area of the solar array wings to be drawing power and powering up those batteries of integrity, of which a cross-tie was enabled between the 4 batteries. The 4 battery buses that are inside of Orion. However, for the perigee raise maneuver, the solar array wings will be put into a position to take on the loads imparted by the ICPS main engine when they execute the 26-second burn. You can see in the animation here, the solar array wings are in motion, and the attitude is being reconfigured to point the engine in the correct direction, those solar array wings being pointed forward. You're getting a live look inside the Artemis 2 mission flight control room. The team you see here oversaw the ascent of our 4 astronauts inside Integrity, launching at 6:35 and 12 seconds p.m. Eastern Time. Now again, this room will be occupied 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, with flight controllers shifting on 3 shifts to oversee 24/7 operations of Artemis 2 while in flight. We will cover that live on the NASA YouTube channel, and we'll be covering that around the clock as we begin to wrap up our coverage here on NASA Plus. Before I do want to send it over to our colleagues at the Kennedy Space Center. And to my colleagues, it was a pleasure to join the teams at the Kennedy Space Center and be a part of such a historic launch. Here in Houston, again, we're turning our attention to the mission. And for now, we'll say farewell and thank you to our colleagues there for today's launch coverage. We'll see you again soon for Splashdown. This is Mission Control Houston, sending it back over to Megan and Nicole at the host desk.
Thank you, Gary. And yes, it was such a pleasure to be a part of this historic mission that started right here at Kennedy Space Center. It was such an amazing sight to be a part of. And now, as Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Cook, and Jeremy Hansen begin their journey, we here at the Kennedy Space Center are about to wrap our broadcast. We'll, of course, though, have 24/7 coverage with our colleagues at Johnson Space Center starting as soon as we sign off, so don't worry. You can follow along our 4 astronauts every minute of their nearly 10-day journey to the moon and back. Nicole, I'll definitely be watching it, and I'm sure you will, too.
Yes, of course. You know, they just started, right? The launch was beautiful. This was a historic day. They're on their way back to the moon for the first time in over half a century, but they've got a lot of work ahead of them, and so we're excited to see what they have to do and excited to test out the Orion spacecraft. This is a test flight after all, and we're excited to see what we can learn from this mission.
Very humbling, inspiring. It was really amazing to be a part of this, and I'm so glad that so many people joined along by either watching here in person or watching online. And of course, Nicole, thank you so much for sitting through this, answering questions, adding so much context and information that really brought a lot out of what we saw today.
Oh man, I had a blast. You're a rock star. You're a professional. Gosh. This was great.
Oh, you're great.
So this was a wonderful day.
Well, again, thank you so much, and thank you to you for watching at home. You know, tonight we didn't just launch a rocket, we launched the next chapter of human exploration. Our Artemis 2 crew now on their way back to the moon, and we're taking you with us. So thank you again for watching, and go Artemis 2. All 4 astronauts, and it appears all of them are undergoing their suit leak checks. Yes, a pre-flight tradition that we have seen with our crewed flights and the card game. The astronauts who have just left crew suit up and are now walking down a hallway. And here they are, NASA's Artemis 2 crew, taking their first steps outside for their historic test flight. And the 4 of them step into their astrovan. And off they go. Oh, this must feel so special to the crew to see all of these people here watching the crew walk across the crew access arm, getting a beautiful view. Everybody configured with their suits, so in we go. The closeout crew has closed the launch abort system hatch.
3, 2, 1, booster ignition, and liftoff. The crew of Artemis 2 now bound for the moon. Humanity's next great voyage begins. Oh. All right, this is Mission Control Houston. Welcome back for our 24/7 coverage of the Artemis 2 mission. At this time, we are a little more than 1 minute from the time of ignition of the perigee raise maneuver. At this time, the Orion spacecraft Integrity has been maneuvered into the burn attitude, is pointed in the right direction, and the solar arrays are in the position to take on the loads imparted by the 26-second burn. Now at 1 minute to the perigee raise maneuver. The teams here are part of the ascent team of the Artemis 2 mission. Now getting our first views from one of the solar array wing cameras over the tracking data relay satellites. We are in a night pass as we are about a little more than 1,300 statute miles above the Earth, just east off the coast of Madagascar. So we have, you can see the Terminator line right just west of the Philippines and the west coast of Australia, where we'll start to get some sunlight again. Now we're just seconds away from the time of ignition. We have ignition. You can see the perigee raise maneuver from the main engine of the ICPS firing from the solar array wing. Standing by for confirmation of cutoff.
Integrity, good PRM, and 1 minute to Teeter's handover.
Copy that. We see the same on board, and the sun is rising on Integrity.
Outstanding.
that the first burn of the interim cryogenic propulsion system has been completed and put the crew on the right trajectory to get them to the moon. There are
integrity for toilet setup, step 2.5.
Go ahead.
Yes, there was not an installed oxon inlet filter, even with empty oxone in the hose when I opened up the filter.
This is Mission Control Houston. Again, we had a good perigee raise maneuver that sets us on course to execute the next major burn, the apogee raise burn. Now, the perigee raise maneuver just adjusts the orbit while we are in low Earth orbit, but the apogee raise burn is quite a significant burn, just shy of 18 minutes long.
Integrity Houston on Tidris West. White Sands is receiving data. Houston is not. We're still troubleshooting.
That was Capcom Stan Love, part of the Ascent team here in Mission Control Houston. We changed over to point to one of the tracking and data relay satellites at the expected time. That time was updated to 51 minutes 26 seconds of mission elapsed time, going from Tidris East to Tidris West. Upon switching to Tidris West, Mission Control Houston not seeing some of the data coming from Orion, coming from Integrity, so we're standing by to regain the ability and troubleshoot some of the rationale as to why we are having some intermittent gaps in our data and communications with the crew. Now again, as the teams are troubleshooting.
Integrity Houston in the blind. We see good solar normal maneuver. ARB TIG is expected to be 45 seconds earlier than the pad. That's 1 hour, 46 minutes, 0 seconds. No update to TIGO yet.
That was Capcom Stan Love here in Mission Control Houston. He used the term "in the blind." That refers to as part of the data that we are not getting from the TDRS West satellite. Noting that we understand that we may not be receiving communications from the crew, though they may be able to hear us. So Stan Love reporting what status is known on our end. We do know that from the data we are receiving that the upper stage and Integrity have maneuvered to solar normal, meaning that the orientation, the attitude of the spacecraft is such that the solar rays can draw the maximum amount of power.
Integrity Houston in the blind for Christina. Just before the TDRS handover, we heard your report about the lack of an oxone inlet filter. We copy that there is not one installed as expected, but please put in a new one.
Team here you see in this row at the Capcom console is NASA astronaut Stan Love. The voice that you're hearing from the teams here in Mission Control Houston up to the crew of Integrity. A Capcom voice that you'll hear throughout the mission as well. Next to Dr. Love, to his right, is Jackie Mahaffey, the Chief Training Officer for the Artemis 2 crew, and a voice that you'll hear from here in Mission Control Houston. Flight Director Judd Freeling is to Stan Love's left. The ascent flight director and leading the teams through the ascent that happened today. And to the left of Judd Freeling is Flight Director Rick Henfling, part of the entry teams here on console to oversee the ascent portion. He'll be returning to console on flight day 9 to prepare for the splashdown on a nominal timeline for flight day 10.
Houston in the blind,
We are sure relieved to hear that issue with the flight termination system has...
To try to recover the link, expect 10 minutes.
This is Mission Control Houston. Again, the teams here are troubleshooting the lack of a forward link, the inability to communicate with the crew aboard Orion. Teams are troubleshooting and planning to reset some ground equipment as the forward link was dropped at the time that we switched from TDRS East to TDRS West. That happened, that handover period started at mission elapsed time of 51 minutes, 26 seconds. Capcom Stan Love reporting some updates, what is called in the blind, meaning that though we
Integrity Houston in the blind, expecting an imminent automated swap to string 2 on board. Also, reminder, we are still receiving good ICPS data.
Again, Capcom, Stan Love, reporting to the crew in the blind, meaning there may be an ability for the crew to hear the calls from the ground. We do know that we are not able to hear any of the crew calls coming from Orion. We did just confirm that we are receiving data from the upper stage, and that allows us to understand and confirm the attitude and orientation of both. Spacecraft, knowing that they are at solar north. With the regain of comm, we're starting to get some views aboard the Orion spacecraft.
Integrity Houston, voice check on Tigris.
Loud and clear, Stan Hollis.
And we now have you the same. Good to hear your voice.
And good to hear yours as well.
Right, we are still trying to understand whether the automated swap to S-band string 2 recovered comm for us, or what was going on the ground. We gave you calls about an ARB TIG and an Oxone inlet filter. Did you copy them?
Copied all.
Excellent.
This is Mission Control Houston, though the solutions that were applied to regain the communications from Integrity is not known which one worked. We do know that we are receiving data. We're getting confirmation that is updating some of our telemetry that shows that the solar array wings have been reconfigured to the solar normal, again drawing as much power as possible. While Integrity is in flight and awaiting the next burn, the apogee raise burn. And you just heard confirmed, though Stan Love was reporting some things in the blind, meaning we could not hear the crew respond to any of the calls that were going on Orion to Earth. We did confirm from Reed Wiseman aboard Integrity that they did hear all of the calls that Capcom Stan Love was reporting.
And Integrity for comm, while we are sorting out the earlier comm loss, we plan to remain on S-band string 2.
Copy S-band string 2, and Quid 19 has been inhibited for right CCD.
Copy Quid 19.
This is Mission Control Houston. Commander Reed Wiseman working through his steps at this time in the timeline. Mission Specialists Christina Cook and Jeremy Hansen should be closing out some of the procedures that were activating some of the environmental control and life support systems. And again, those steps relayed from Capcom Stan Love were received by the crew, so they did copy them and address any of the feedback that was provided by Capcom Stan Love. The launch and entry suits for Mission Specialist 1 and 2, that's Christina Cook and Jeremy Hansen, per the timeline, they are in the period of time to doff or take off the suits. The launch and entry suits for Commander Reed Wiseman and pilot Victor Glover will remain on until after a successful apogee raise burn. Their role is to oversee the successful burn there. In the meantime, they're configuring some of their equipment and configuration that's needed ahead of the day's activities, starting with covering a CCD cursor control device. And they're well on their way to a nominal timeline, of course, addressing the communication link by resetting some ground equipment and changing the string of communications, which addressed the issue, and now we're getting full data from the ICPS as well as the Orion spacecraft.
Interior Houston, questions for Jeremy and for Christina.
Stan, can you power on the toilet, and then we'll stand by for your words for Jeremy and Christina.
Toilet power up is in work. The questions are, can you confirm the HHP cam has been powered down? And then the question for Christina is whether the urine filter, that's the rubber part, was installed, but just no beads connected.
And that's affirmative. The filter was installed, no beads.
Thank you.
And Stan, we are wrapping up PWD right now. Jeremy will get the HXB cameras after that. There was a tremendous amount of back pressure on all those settings, so it's taking a little bit of all the connectors, so it's taking a little bit of time.
Copy. Thank you.
Commander Reed Wiseman aware of the steps, the initial steps for mission specialist Christina Cook and Jeremy Hansen, working on some of the systems inside, while the commander and pilot monitor the flight of Integrity.
Integrity Houston, toilet is powered, waste tank purged.
We copy that, Stan. Thank you.
Some of the equipment inside needs to be activated by flight controllers here in Mission Control Houston. The activation of some of these necessary for their trip on their first day in orbit as part of the Artemis 2 mission. While Christina Cook addressed the waste systems that are on board now that they're activated and purged. Jeremy Hansen working on the potable water dispenser, rather. One of his initial steps is to activate the equipment and start filling some bags as a reserve. So he's working through those steps. The HHP camera is one of the internal cameras inside of Integrity. HHP camera was one that was captured through the duration of ascent and recorded into the flight computers.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that helps you at all, Stan. But that whole time that you all had, seemed like you had a good forward link, we just had no return. We saw a good frame lock, and everything looked good. The only thing we did not have was a good ping. I don't know if that helps you.
That helps a lot, Reed. Thank you for that report. Terry Houston for SAW. We saw the SAW 3 brake go into error position. We're confident it engaged, but we saw more motion than we expected during the burn. We are cycling the brake on that SAW.
Okay, Stan, we copy that. HHP cameras are off, Pup 1 switches are off, Stan.
Copy HHP and Pup, thank you. Terry Houston, starting thermal roll.
Houston, integrity on toilet, step 6.7.
Go ahead for step 6.7.
Yes, during 6.7, about 20 seconds after starting the water into the funnel, after a nominal startup, the toilet shut down on its own and I have a blinking amber fault light.
Copy, talking about it. And integrity for toilet, we're going to have to think about that for a while. In the meantime, CCUs are available in Alpha 2.
We copy, and I'll be returning the funnel to the cradle.
Good config.
This is Mission Control Houston, a read back of some of the communications that occurred on Orion to Earth. We're now at 1 hour 17 minutes of mission elapsed time. We got confirmation that the upper stage and Integrity began a thermal roll. They are on the illuminated side of the Earth right now at an altitude of just a little more than 1,000 statute miles. The thermal roll allows for even distribution of heating from the sun at that altitude, distributes it a little more evenly ahead of the apogee rays burn. In the meantime, Mission Specialist Christina Cook working on the activation of some environmental control life support systems and waste management systems. Currently, as teams on the ground analyze some troubleshooting of the activation steps that she was going through, she'll gather some of the backup waste management capabilities that they have aboard Integrity, just as a precaution while the teams assess how to address what was reported down from Mission Specialist Christina Cook on the fault light. Now at mission elapsed time of 1 hour 18 minutes, we are coming up on the post-launch press conference at the Kennedy Space Center, where subject matter experts have gathered to and will address the launch that just occurred, and media will ask some questions. As part of our continuous coverage plan, where we are streaming this mission 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, throughout the duration of the Artemis 2 mission, the briefings themselves will also be streamed on this platform. The time of the beginning of the press briefing is scheduled to be 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time today, so coming up in just about 6 minutes. While the post-launch press conference is
Integrity, thermal roll complete, and a question for Christina for toilet.
All right, Stan, just give us a minute, and the view of Australia was epic just now. It's amazing to be at this altitude, and Christina's working hard.
Roger. And Integrity, we also have a story about a water tank valve problem during powered flight. We saw an anomalous indication on the water ISO valve between water tanks Bravo and Charlie. Based on the signature we saw with the tanks during the PWD checkout, we think that valve is closed. We are going to troubleshoot that going forward.
Thank you.
Quick recap, the thermal roll is complete, distributing.
Broadcast.
Eclipse.N2H2O up.
And
Give me
we
a
are
call.
successfully in orbit.
I'm looking at it.
Spacecraft is generating power via solar arrays.
Tab stop
and
17,
I
we show
look
that
forward
valve
to seeing a
closed, if that helps you.
10-day mission.
That is also what we see, and that's exactly the valve we're looking at. Related to that, question for Jeremy. For the PWD checkout, did you check out the primary first or the secondary first?
The ending of the coastal phase. Thank you to everyone for coming, and I'll see you in the next